All right, everybody, welcome. Sorry we're a little bit late, but welcome to the Eddy Live Show. I'm here with my man, Juan, the best mariachi in Taiwan. How you doing, brother?
Hey, Taiwan. You know, it's a whirlwind. I just got off that crazy bus, but I'm grateful for the great transportation system they have,
Yeah, okay.
I took one bus all the way from Nehu here.
So you guys are in Nehu now?
Yeah, we're in Nehu now.
Okay, so what happened there? I mean, you guys were in Danshui, right?
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
Okay.
We moved to My job's there.
Okay.
And it's just really hard to do a commute for an hour and 20 minutes.
That's far, yeah.
It's crazy. Real crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's in Nehu then?
Well, basically my job, and I love teaching, so it's one thing to learn something, and it's another thing to teach, because as you teach, you also learn.
That's true. Yeah, when I coached sports and stuff, definitely I can agree with that. Yeah. Right on, bro. It's nice to see you, man. So you've been gigging a lot lately? Have you been gigging
with
at all?
COVID and all that.
Nobody, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I have been writing a lot more.
Writing some music? Yeah.
No, actually.
Writing what?
Writing like a personal narrative.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Chronicles of Juanito or what? Yeah. Yeah. That's the title.
Exactly. Well, actually, I go back into, for me, I've been pretty much a creative person, like many of us, right?
Sure.
And,
Okay, yeah.
I think it started when I was like 5 years old.
Okay.
My mother and father were divorcing, so it was a very painful time.
Okay, sure.
And I think art is a wonderful escape for any age. And at 5 years old,
Bye-bye, see you guys.
I learned by heart one of my sister's first 45 back in the day. Okay, a 45.
Back in the day, all right.
It was called Blue Moon.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That Blue Moon.
It was from the bebop day.
Oh my gosh, I love that, yeah.
It was something like this.
All right, let's have it.
Bob bob dang 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 ding dong ding. Blue 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 moon.
YouTube.
Dippy dippy dip blue 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 moon.
All right.
Dippy dippy dip bob bob blue moon. You saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love my own. And then it just goes on, and then there's suddenly they appeared before me, the only one my eyes will hold. Anyhow, I would be crying.
Sounds good, brother. Yeah,
I'd be crying,
of course.
and I was only 5-6 years old, and that song was singing me. I was singing it, and that's where I'm at today.
Okay.
As you know, when we give a show, pardon me there.
Yeah.
Because thanks to you, I give shows, and we.
Can you move this way just a tiny bit, brother? There you go.
We promote Mexican music the way we have over the years here.
Yeah, sure.
I really appreciate that from you.
Well, I'm excited. That's why I wanted to get you on the show. And maybe before we start, you can tell people about yourself, like what you do. So Juan is a mariachi, right? So maybe you can, if someone were to say, introduce yourself, what would you say?
Well, basically, I've been very fortunate, particularly in Mexico City. The people very much embraced me because they understood what I was doing. Growing up as, during the 60s, we called ourselves Chicano, right? So
Chicanos, baby.
Right. Yeah. And
OG Chicano right here.
It was an important way to identify ourselves, because we weren't totally accepted in Mexico, because some of us may have an accent.
Of course, I understand that. I understand that.
Right, I'm second generation.
Yep, okay.
Are you second generation
Canadian? So I'm the first generation Canadian, so we spoke Spanish at home. But but even that, when I go to Mexico, I still have an accent, right?
Right.
Yeah, so
Can you call yourself a Mexican in
In Canada, I would say like a Mexican Canadian. I mean, I do. I mean, I call myself Mexican.
Right.
But then people are like, but where are you born?
So how
in
do they see it?
Yeah. No, with them, as Canadian, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure,
So,
yeah.
we came growing up at 14 years old. I was a junior brown beret.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw the pictures.
Sure. We got pictures that come up in a little bit here.
We were pretty, well, certainly within the movement and on a national level, because we were so organized. We had an ex-brown beret.
So what is brown beret, if you don't mind?
Well, back in the 60s, there were the Black Panthers.
Okay.
And so basically the Chicanos learned a lot from them as far as their militant stance. Without so much militancy, there was no...
sort of the Black Panther equivalent.
Unity.
Latino, Chicano.
And we were 14-year-olds, and we're about 40 of us.
All right.
And we would dress in berets and safari jackets, tan-colored, and black pants and black shoes.
That's pretty cool, man. I love it. All right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
40 kids, and we would march around our junior high and, Raza Si, Vietnam.
Raza, baby. Okay,
yeah.
Simon.
And we used to lead the protests in East LA. And
East Los, baby. Yeah.
Ultimately, it led to the moratorium. They just had a 50-year anniversary of the moratorium in which Ruben Salazar, a very famous leader, was killed.
Oh,
there were a lot of leaders in those days. I'm talking about 1970, the August 29th, 1970 moratorium in East LA. And he was shot and killed with a tear gas canister. So anyhow...
Really? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Jeez, okay.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Anyhow, that was very influential. It helped the Mexican Americans get more of a governmental sort of... I mean, there was still a lot of racism.
Sure, of course.
Look at today.
Of course, yeah.
What does Trump say about Mexicans today? Okay, so you can imagine.
Sure, okay, yeah, that's a rough one.
Let's not even go there,
That's
right?
not even, yeah, that's
we'll just leave it at the wall.
Yeah. That's a long one, I believe, if we dive into that.
But you know that in the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, it was promised to Mexicans that not only would they keep their land, but they would have the ability for themselves and for their future generations to cross that border.
Okay, sure.
In the original draft.
Okay. In the original unedited copy, yeah? Okay.
Growing up as Chicano, we were very political. Even the Aztecs, they became very important to us. And I'm sure you're even up in Canada, you're familiar with a lot of the great, wonderful things. I mean, the pyramids, a city built on a lake, and
sure, yeah.
There was a lot of pride there. And so it was just a psychological upbringing, and sociologically speaking, we became united. And in these things we firmly believed in, and we marched in.
Okay.
And it made a lot of changes. Thank God, and by the 70s, we saw a lot of governmental programs come into being. But musically, you asked me who I am. Well, I started off listening to my mother's music and my father's music, which would be mariachi.
I love it. I love it, yeah.
But also other genres of Mexican music. Also, for example, my sisters, I have two older sisters. They're older than me by 6 years.
Okay.
So they listen to a lot of Motown, and so I was really into dancing.
Okay, beautiful.
Everybody knew the best parties in town were at the Piña house.
At the Piña house, baby. Yes. So that's where the party's at.
All these little Chicanitos would be dressed up, man, to the T, man, the little bow tie, whatever it was, Yeah. And they'd be hanging around and playing, but they were too shy to dance.
Okay.
So my sister would come up to me. Now, this is about the time that I would listen to Blue Moon and cry in the bathroom with our little cheap red record player, right?
No shyness in Juanito over here, I'm sure. Yeah, let's go, baby.
So my sister would always come up to me. She'd say, "Hey, Johnny," she says, "this is a party, right?" And I'd say, "Yeah." She says, "But nobody's dancing." And I'd say, "Well, give them time. They just got here, Yeah. And then she'd say, "Well." Well, okay, this is a short story. If you don't dance with me, Johnny, you're going to bed right now.
All right, okay. That's the short version, okay? That's the clean version, I'm sure, yeah.
So I could dance, and I was only about yay tall,
Yeah.
But, 6 years old, 5, 6 years old.
Okay.
And my sisters were 12, 13, My mother didn't want them running on the streets because Just
Yeah, of
like
course.
today, there's a lot of bad influences.
Of course.
Especially in LA, we have a lot of that LA influence.
Understandable.
So
Sure.
some kids were even being thrown in the bushes, dying from overdoses.
Really?
And heroin, he comes over from the border there.
Really, yeah?
Oh, man,
I
yeah.
didn't know.
You know,
Okay.
it's still a very dangerous place, the States. It's just now people are getting hearing about it.
Now they know, right?
Oh,
yeah.
well,
Social media is actually showing stuff, I guess. Yeah,
The police
news.
brutality.
That's a crazy situation, right?
Black on black, brown on brown. I mean, it's just all out there with all them guns, millions of guns.
Yeah.
But in any case, we had these great parties, and so I grew up with that whole concept of Mexican, American, and the idea
It's its
that,
own thing, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah, the
Los
idea.
Chicanos, right?
Yeah, what I do in a performance is going to be, you know, as you say, Chicano, and at the same time Mexican presentation, but with that feel, you know, that movement.
Yeah,
that's
baby.
rather unique.
Well, we love it, man.
Yeah, and I appreciate that every time you say that, you know, and I've always felt that with you.
Of course.
I've always felt that with you.
Thanks,
and,
brother.
and I'm so grateful whenever I do stuff on Facebook, you know, I might, you know, I record stuff, and it's just so beautiful to get the reactions that you do from people, you know, and
Yeah, sure, man.
I've been doing that, just recording, even at home because of the COVID too.
Yeah,
But-
of course. I think a lot of musicians right now are doing some recording and stuff at home because COVID. I mean, even though Taiwan, it's not been that bad. It's a little crazy. It's a little bit crazy. So I
Right.
think doing the home deal is probably good. So you know what? Let's grab a wing here, right? So we start from here to there. We're just gonna start with a basic buffalo. So grab a wing, man. We start from this side.
When
so
you
grab
say
one of those.
buffalo, is it really a buffalo, or
It's
what's
not-
the idea
it's
of a
not-
buffalo?
So buffalo comes from so Frank's Red Hot is the base for the buffalo. So it's just Frank's Red Hot and butter, and I guess it got made in Buffalo, famous buffalo wings. Yeah. So it's just the sauce.
It's just the sauce. Very good.
Yeah. So
Could I have the least spicy one?
So we're gonna we'll start from here, and then we'll go through all of them together.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So just grab either
Grab
the
that
wing
one?
or the drum, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we just chat, and we'll just chew and just chat, brother. I'm happy to have. So it's been a long time since I've seen you, man. It's been too long. I'm hungry, so I just had to push the wing, dude. Sorry.
Is it best to look up there, or where?
Honestly, that's the main camera. We got a second camera right here, which is right here. But actually, we're just chatting, man. The whole thing is just, you know, sometimes when we do the podcast, people they're a little bit nervous. They're like, oh, I'm not too, you know, they don't want to go on camera. But it's just chatting, man. We're just chatting.
No, so
The whole thing
you
is
don't care what camera you're on.
No, I just want to kind of share your story a little bit. That's kind of I think you got a good story. I think you've done some cool things, and I'm just happy to have you here, man.
That's amazing. Thank you.
So, what originally brought you here to Taiwan, if I can ask? Yeah.
You know, to me, Taiwan is part of the motherland because as a Chicano, we learned about the Chinese culture, how they crossed from the Bering Straits, the Chinese, and the idea that, I mean, and it's quite obvious because if you look at, today he's called Long,
Okay.
the plumed flying serpent.
Okay.
The plumed serpent in Mexico,
Okay.
el serpiente plumado, Quetzalcoatl in Mexico, in Guatemala, Cucumatzin, and it goes on and on. I mean,
Everyone has a
in native
name.
cultures,
Okay, sure.
mythology and things of
Okay.
that nature. So, and not to mention the buildings and so many things, right?
All right.
So for me, it was a question of going back to the motherland, and I had a choice between Japan. You know, one day I don't know how you got here, but one day I was watching Connie Chung and an American TV reporter.
Yeah, of course. I know Connie Chung. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's so foxy.
Yeah. And that was like, hell yeah, let's go. Okay.
She was real pretty, and she had a short segment called Eye on America.
Okay.
And anyhow, I was in the kitchen, and she said, "This isn't the first time that Americans have traveled. It's the first time they've traveled so far."
Okay.
to find employment.
Okay.
And I thought, well, you know, I love kids, and I was doing my music. You know, I was like
Kids
a
love
gopher
music.
for my father in Mexico, because my father had already done the Capitol Columbia Records, and he was
Sure.
semi-retired in Santa Barbara. Yeah, so anyhow,
Check this out, boom.
Yeah.
Right up there, brother. Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, yeah. There he is, right? That's the man, yeah?
oh man, that's a story right there. I'll tell
That's a
you.
story. That's a beauty, yeah?
What a voice, King Kong right there, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you got your chops from your pops, or what? What are you thinking?
You know, I don't have the sort of Pavarotti power that he had, and
Okay. I just wanted to...
he had a beautiful personality too.
Okay.
I really like your personality too. I've always thought you were really smooth.
Thanks, brother. I mean,
You've always, you know, we're small town boys.
Oh.
You're from a small town. I heard you in your last
definitely.
interview.
Oh
and
my
I'm
God, I
thinking,
totally
we're both from small town.
I'm very,
Yeah.
very small, you know? Very small town, man.
How
And
small is that?
About 8,000 people.
No
man.
way.
Yeah, man. It's a small place, dude. I mean, it's a great place. I love it. I miss it, actually. But yeah, it's a small place, man, for sure.
interesting.
Yeah. Not. I guess mine's smaller. I'm guessing. Yeah. Yeah.
That is amazing.
That's pretty small, dude.
8,000?
Yeah.
That's fascinating. Pero, you know, that's how people from the provincia are, you know, very kind. And I noticed that you just have this magnetism about you. And, I mean, I think that's wonderful.
Thanks,
and
man.
I think it has a lot to be, and you probably came from a very loving family. I
for
come
sure.
from a small town too.
Sure.
So people in Santa Barbara are known for being nice, you know. And,
Okay.
And I really, and it's never worked against me. Well, some people say I'm too nice.
Okay.
But
Well,
that's
I mean,
all right.
I understand that happens. Sometimes when you're nice, you know, you get taken advantage of a little bit, right? That happens sometimes, right? You know, when you're nice. I've had it happen to me many times, for sure. But
Yeah,
but I don't
can
think
imagine.
it should. Don't let it change us, right? We got to keep, you know,
Oh, absolutely.
just be nice, right? I
How
think
did,
it's a good thing. Yeah.
That reminds me of a quote by the Cuban revolutionary Che Guevara.
Okay.
He would say, "We must learn to grow strong without ever losing our tenderness."
Okay. Oh, I like that. Okay. Oh, you're good, brother. You're good. It's all good, dude. Yeah. I
All
like
right.
that. You must learn to. We must learn to grow strong without losing our tenderness.
Right.
That's. I didn't know that one, but I
Yeah,
like that.
Che
I'm gonna
Guevara,
use that,
yeah.
man, because that's. I agree, because I always get. I mean, I get shit a lot because I'm always really nice, right? I'm always like, no problem, let's do
Right.
it. You know, I'll always go the extra mile to help someone out. I'm like, let's do it, no problem. And then a lot of the times it's like, you know, sometimes I'll get taken advantage of a little bit, but you know, it is what it is.
Yes,
and sometimes
it's okay.
sometimes I get in trouble for it from, you know, my wife once in a while. I'll be like, well, you're too nice, dude. We're always, you know, take care, guys. Yeah.
All right. Take care.
And she's like, you're too nice. What are you doing? And I'm like, well, you know, I don't want to change myself, right? It's the way it is. I'm a happy guy. I think people should be nice. If everyone was cool, everyone was nice, then it would be a good place, right?
I think people
That's
in
it.
a big city have less of an aptitude of that sort of empathy, because you're in a big city such as Taipei here.
Sure.
And you need, it's survival mode,
Yeah.
clear cut.
Understand.
You're
Sure.
doing things you don't want to do, particularly the young people, right? And even after that hard education, tough, demanding education they go through the system here,
Yeah.
then it's a demanding married life. And I think what it is that, oh, by the way, Mexico, I really learned a lot about loving there.
Mexican culture is the best, man.
Oh my
I love
God.
it. I mean, not
And
that
it's
I'm
world
biased,
famous.
right? Yeah.
No, but it's written and well recorded. People,
mean, who
if you
still
want to
said-
know, if you want to learn about loving, you know what? When I was an English teacher in Mexico City, one of the most favorite things that I did was come early and watch Mexicans say good morning.
Oh, that's the best. How did you sleep? ¿Cómo amaneciste, right? When I was a kid,
They would-
I was like just blown away by that,
They
right?
would kiss their hand, the woman's hand, they would kiss their cheek. There was always some sort of connection that was deep.
Some affection too. Yeah. It's not
Oh
just
my
like
God. And it's just so wonderful to see the warmth. This
Yeah,
amazing
I could agree
warmth.
with that, yeah.
You don't walk into a Mexican's house and not get fed.
Oh
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
for sure.
And
Yeah,
don't dare
for
say
sure.
no. They won't let you say no.
No. They're like, oh, really? Okay, let me put twice as much on there. Yeah. Eat
So,
it. Yeah.
When I went to Mexico City, with the concepts that
Food's
I
great.
had done.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when I went with the concepts that I did of the Aztecs, and I had, you don't have any of my Azteca pictures?
I believe I got that one.
When
There
I
you go.
went
Is
to
that the
Mexico
one? Yeah.
City with this concept, the people, I had the best traje maker in all of Mexico City, a fellow named Naui, make my
Now
costume.
okay.
You know, and then the feathers you see.
Yeah, that's the spot, brother. That's
right,
a good picture.
right.
I love
and
that.
I've got a few of them. I was quite the model in those days.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
That's you.
God
Yeah.
blesses us, you
That's,
know.
yeah.
Right,
That's
right?
beautiful. I
you-
love that. Yeah.
Well, that's the founding of Mexico. This is downtown Zocalo. And if you see the
Okay.
eagle, he's actually eating a snake. And
Okay.
that was the omen they took for building Tenochtitlan, which was in a
Yes.
lake.
That's
You know
that's
what
the
I'm
story behind the flag as well, right? That's why the flag
That's,
is. Yeah.
There it is. And you see a couple of Indians in the background, not too clearly, but you can see them seeing the omen, and they built their city. And how they built it basically was they made 15-foot, 20-foot poles from the trees, and they stuck them in the mud, and then they used volcanic
Really?
rock and cement, sand and what have you, to
Wow.
fill in. And this is how they made their city on a lake. I mean,
Wow.
come on, it wasn't 50 feet high, the lake.
Yeah,
It
wow,
was just,
wow.
But still.
But that's crazy.
It's
but
really
and
crazy.
also that was a long time ago.
And
right?
pyramids, too.
Pyramids, yeah. That's
So they still don't
on
know.
stilts.
They don't know
almost,
how they
yeah.
did a lot of things.
Yeah,
right?
for
The
sure.
time, what is it? The time of the calendar is off by some amazing fraction of time.
Yeah, exactly.
This
Yeah,
big
yeah.
stone is somehow, amazingly accurate, more than anything
Yeah, of
that we
course.
can make today.
Of course, yeah, and with all the technology and stuff that we have, yeah.
Chinapas. You haven't been to Mexico City? Don't tell me you haven't been to Mexico City.
I have not been to Mexico
Oh, my
City.
God.
You know, my family is from Guadalajara, so every time we go to Mexico, we go there. Or Puerto Vallarta because that's kind of
Nice.
the closest beach town, right?
Right.
So that's where we go, but I want to take my family out there for like the full out tour, man. I got to do it.
You can go there.
Mexico City's the Mecca, they say, though, right? The Mecca of everything.
They have one of the most beautiful museums in the world there. It's
Okay.
worldwide respected. The artwork is unbelievable. I'll
Okay.
just leave it at that. If anybody can go to Google and see a good
Go
part
back.
of what they did. But what's so cool, speaking of the Aztecs, there's like over 87, maybe 187 canales, waterways where you can go down. They have
Really?
mariachis in one boat. They have a lady in one log cut out sort of boat. She'll sell flowers and
I love that.
Oh, it's
Okay.
just amazing. It's
That's beautiful.
absolutely amazing. But when I went to Mexico City with these concepts, you see, I was reading a book, for example, going back to the passion, right? The creative act.
Yeah.
I picked up a book called The Daily Lives of the Aztecs
Okay.
by Jacques Soustel,
Uh-huh.
French, fascinating mind, fascinating because of all the work that he put into it. So I was really taken with it. And the understanding is, I read one line. He says, in this next poem, an ambassador has been sent by orders of his king to bring joy into the heart of King Mokgutsu Matsin.
Okay.
And that was it. From there, I made a movie, a pilot movie. That concept alone inspired me so much that I spent hours and hours and hours putting it together. And the way I started it was, I scale the mountain, yo escalo la montaña, y antes de tocar el cielo, yo veo la grandeza de la ciudad, emulating flowers and dancing amongst the pyramids.
Okay.
Música y danza in the great center of the city. I feel the vibrant rhythm in all of my body. Escucho la música de sus danzas, a sus dioses que quieren tanto, dejando libres sus espíritus during the sunset, in the communion of dancer and rhythm, obeying the laws of the ritual. This is liberation to all of the dancers.
I love it, brother.
I just took it, brother, and you know me.
I do know you, man. That's why you're here, man. I love you.
We've done a few gigs here.
I love you, for sure.
And I'd love to throw out the Azteca, you know.
I know. That was one of my questions, man. I mean, how did... you have a couple of... How could you learn, like 2020, how could someone learn an Aztec song? How is that?
Passion.
Okay.
It's all about passion. Just like your Chinese is great. I've heard it.
Oh, it's not too bad. It's okay.
It's not too bad. I'm a good audience, brother.
Okay, well,
I like to support people.
All right, brother.
Do well.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Well, that's I'm really happy that you came out, brother. I mean, one of the reasons actually that I wanted to have you this particular week because it's Independence Day for Mexico today, and so this Friday we actually have Juan doing his live mariachi gig here in 2 days. This Friday, I'm excited to have it because it's been so long. We haven't done anything live, any live music, anything like that, because it's the whole COVID thing's been a little bit crazy. Yeah. But now we're starting it back up again. A little mariachi Juan in the house this Friday. I'm excited, man. You know, I was just watching a YouTube video that we made of my daughter's 5th birthday party. Oh yeah. And you remember you came by and you did that? That was awesome, right? Oh, yeah. You came by and all the kids were sitting around and Juan was doing his mariachi gig. He did a little bit of Poco Loco in there too.
Yeah, remember? I'll do that again.
By request, right? Yeah, it was good.
That's a darling song, isn't it?
It's a good one, right? So most people actually think that Cinco de Mayo is Independence Day, and you know, Mexicans usually know that it's the 16th of September. But and it starts with El Grito de Dolores, right?
Right.
So maybe you can share a little bit of that. That's on you, brother. That's all you. That's a little chipotle wing. It's a little bit more spicy than the other one, but not too much. So just help yourself, brother.
I've been having throat trouble.
Okay, well, you're good.
Maybe I'm good.
You're good. If you don't want to eat, it's all good, brother.
I had like a little virus.
Did you? Okay.
Did I say virus?
No problem. Yeah. So grab a mask and keep going. Yeah. Okay, brother, no problem.
I mean,
not
the COVID, brother. I'm just saying.
I know. I'm just kidding, dude.
No, but I had a chest infection. You know, here in this tropical weather.
Yeah. Well, the humidity, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, we're more susceptible for catching, diseases.
For sure, I bet. So I'll eat yours.
It's
then,
been
brother,
about a year,
I haven't eaten
man.
dinner yet.
Yeah.
But tell about El Grito, man. I mean, how could you describe something like that?
He was a priest who started that, and it's a wonderful time. Mexicans, it's funny how did one Mexican put it? She says, we Mexicans will put up with a lot of shit, but when the shit comes, man, and it starts flying. Okay, sure. Yeah, so if you look at the Mexican Revolution, which was really fascinating because, and we've celebrated that more than a few times, but.
Hell yeah.
That's a fascinating one because it's so well documented, right? Because it came in more present history.
Sure.
But I love the one with the women fighting and the incredible unity.
I remember you had a great story about one of the women with the pistols and stuff,
right? Well, we sing about him here. Yeah. And La Riolera, La Adelita. I love those. Actually, one of my favorite songs when I think of happiness is La Riolera, and it means like a revolutionary woman, right? And the idea is that I love that song. It's my happiest song.
Okay.
Yo soy riolera, yo tengo mi Juan.
That song reminds me of you all the time.
Yo soy su querer. Cuando me dicen que ya se va el tren, adiós madrecita, me voy con mi Juan.
Right? I only know that song because of you. So that song reminds me of you.
Tengo mi par de pistolas. I have my pair of pistolas para salirme a pasear. One is for my lover, the other one is for my rival. Yo soy riolera. And then, of course, that Cuco Corrido, man.
Yeah, of course.
You can go all over the place. I love it.
It's great. Well, we're going to have that this Friday. And I think it's good stuff, man. People are gonna love it. It's been too long. We haven't done anything. So this Friday, man. When I hear this music, it reminds me of you. Not of because it's like these are One of the other questions I had was the Torito song, right?
Oh,
that's
you
like an
like
original,
that?
right? Yeah, it's something like that, right? Kind
You
of.
know what? It's
The
like
story behind that. What's up?
Well,
Yeah.
it's funny with music and dance too. I found okay, Toro Torito Toro. You like that song? I like it
love
too.
it, yeah.
Toro Torito Toro. It's a huapango. Toro Torito Toro. Porque mañana te van a matar. Necesitas ser valiente. You need to be very valiant, because tomorrow they're going to kill you. Y hasta tu sangre te van a sacar. Notice I didn't say that in English because
Yeah.
Mexicans we
Yeah, like
understand
dirty.
certain concepts of death and blood.
Sure.
To us are normal. But if
sure,
I
yeah.
say it
In
the
English.
way we say it,
Yeah,
in
it
this,
sounds gory and
it
people are
sounds
like,
gory.
"Whoa,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah."
terrible.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things
I know.
in our cultures like, ooh, how could
Yeah.
you do that?
Yeah.
You know, the song says you need to be very valiant because tomorrow they're going. It's a bull because tomorrow they're going to kill you, and your blood they will take too. You know, so oh my God, and I love to get the people singing. La 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 la, and I don't even have a voice right now. La 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 la, and then if they're listening really well, they might be. They start coming in a little closer. They think, man, I know I could do this.
No, for sure. Yeah. Well, you're also
And
able
then
to
we
get people
practice it, and
dancing,
then-
right?
Oh,
You also
yeah,
get
the
people dancing, right?
Exactly. But I mean,
What's the secret behind that, man? What do you
the
think?
Taiwanese are great because they really are ready to get off, like they used to say back in the day, right? To have a good time. And once you teach them the basics, you just get out of the way. You know what I mean? You just get out of the way because they're ready. They're men. They're wound up and they go. And I love that about them. Sometimes you have to kind of pull them up a little bit, but once they get going,
A little bit shy in the beginning, right? For sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
And they're very good sports, and they're very open to. When I ask them to sing, they love to sing. The women will come up here. Right? They'll come up here
Yeah.
and sing their little hearts out.
That's a classic, right? A
And we'll be
Taiwanese
asking
classic.
the men to come up and sing "Bésame mucho." All the machos,
That's
come
also
on up,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, sure.
Well, they'll do it, or at least they'll be at their seats and do it.
Mexico is I mean, how many countries left where there are people still serenading? You know, when they go to the window and they sing to the woman.
Or las
you know?
mañanitas.
Oh yeah, las mañanitas. That's also a special song. Mexico. For those that aren't Mexican and don't know about it, they have sort of their own happy birthday song, and it's it's las mañanitas,
poem,
and it's long. It's beautiful if you know the words as well, right? It's a great one. Yeah, I love it. But whenever you gig, we'll always try to find somebody with a birthday, and we'll do las mañanitas too, right?
Absolutely, bring them
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I
Even
love
the
it.
people, all the people born in July and August. Since
Let's
we're
go.
in
Let's
the middle
go.
of the
Same-
month, right?
same thing. Let's
Excuse
go.
me, August and September.
Yeah, exactly. So
anything to get them up to have a good
anybody's
time.
got a birthday in the next little while, come on down Friday. Juan's going to sing you las mañanitas. Yeah, it's going to be fun, brother.
Oh, we'll teach you the valse with that one. It begins as a ver, esta sol, a valse ranchera, and then it goes into the valse, which originally came from the French, and
The waltz did really
the valse,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
waltz.
okay.
Excuse me, as you say, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
in Spanish it's valse, but it's the waltz.
The waltz,
Mhm,
the-
definitely.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
You know, I want to say you had my father up there, and I didn't really talk about him much.
Let's-
You know, when he
let's put that
recorded,
back up.
he
Put him
came
back up,
during
yeah.
he came up during the Bracero program in the Second World War. He came from Mexico City, and they needed workers, laborers, just like now, as you know. We do a lot of the hard labor work.
Sure.
Keeps America going there, feeding them. But in those days, so he came in that Bracero program.
Okay.
And at nighttime, they would get around the fire and sing. You know, so
Yeah.
during the day, they might be picking lemons or strawberries or railroad tracks, whatever hard labor that
Hard
it
labor,
was.
sure.
Absolutely. He came when he was 14.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. And
Like by train, or I mean, how does that? Yeah. I mean, yeah.
very young, yeah.
Okay.
But in any case, the understanding is that they would sing at night. So when he started working the KIST radio, and then from radio he went into small record companies, and then he moved to different labels.
Like he was talk show kind of radio, or he was playing. He was gigging on radio.
Getting people,
got a nice voice.
Programs.
People liking it. Okay.
Yeah. At some point, you never start at the top. But,
of course, shoots. Yeah. We all know that. We all know that. Yeah.
Right. And he Capitol Columbia Records, the biggest record labels in the world, probably at that time, like Sony is today, right?
Yeah, sure.
And so it's really fascinating to see that somebody with such humble beginnings would. That's how talented he really was. Hey,
okay,
there he is. There they are. But
do you want a taco or something, man?
Sure.
You want a taco, corn?
Fish taco.
Fish taco.
Great,
okay.
I guess.
Can I get fish tacos? Corn tortilla, yeah?
Yeah, that's fine.
Corn tortilla, 2-piece. Yeah, 2-piece, yeah, please. For Juan.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, yeah. Because, you got to eat something. I don't want you to go home hungry, brother. So, okay.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, of course, no problem, yeah.
So it was amazing because what they did, one of the most famous buildings in Los Angeles, going back to 1919, is the $1 Million Theater. If ever you're there, it's a wonderful.
In Los Angeles.
Yeah. And going back to Mary Pickford in 1919, the Roaring Twenties, Earl Flynn, big names at that time. Again, 1920s. And they would have these huge parties. Like the theme might be a circus party. Kind of like what you did for Coco. You had people making.
Yeah, the Coco party was sick, right?
Yeah, you were making tacos or whatever, and teaching them how to make tortillas. I know you've done that.
That's right. Yeah.
They might have a theme of a circus, and they would have clowns and the trapeze artists. Okay. I mean, this building was huge, and it boasted the largest seating capacity in the world at that time. Anyhow, my father, after that heyday. Then in the 50s, because my father was voted #1 Latin singer in 1955.
Really?
So
wow.
And they would lend him out. Capitol and Columbia Records would lend him out, and he would perform with the famous actors and actresses that would be in the movies. Wow. So, names like Maria Victoria, Jorge Negrete.
Oh, wow.
Big names. Oh, they're making movies, right?
So your dad, damn.
In fact, they offered me to make movies, but they told me I had to marry a Mexican woman, and I had no problem with that, but I just wasn't ready to get married.
You're too young,
to make movies.
Playing the field, baby.
Not that I don't know. It's just somebody tells you to get married if you want to make movies.
That's weird, of course.
I don't know. I guess
you gotta marry to get. So they're like, you want to make a movie, get married.
Yeah, right.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Like, wait a minute, what? Yeah.
It's a passion. It's
but
not
the
about
weirdest thing that someone could ask you to do, right?
It's not about money so much. It's not even about the fame. It's not. It's really anyhow. I just didn't want to do that. And he was a cool guy. He called himself Charro Negro. He always wore a mariachi suit.
Love it. I love mariachi
And he
suits,
wanted me. He says, listen, Juan, I talked to the union. They said, you can do it, but you must get married to a Mexican woman. We can make movies, I had all kinds. I had record labels. I ended up doing with a top mariachi there, a recording of the most famous 12 of them, and he wanted me to do English and Spanish, the songs. We did that project thanks to Gabriel de la O in Mexico City, the owner of Discos Pomofon, wonderful man. We worked with the same arranger, composer, very famous for Javier Solis.
Wow.
In fact, the last song that Javier died, right before he died, he did a song called El Organillero, and he died soon after that. And they kind of said, they're very superstitious, just like they are here. And they says, it had something to do with that song that you wrote, that he was waiting amongst the midnight and for her return or something between death and darkness. And so some people, he said, I felt real bad about that because that wasn't my intention. His name, Rafael Carrion, famous man. The same album that my father made, I'm going to make copies of his album and put them on YouTube.
Beautiful.
For the world. amazing arrangements. I mean, this unbelievable.
It's okay. Thank you.
So Rafael Carrion
Thank
did
you.
our project too.
Thank you.
50 years later.
Okay.
After he worked with my father, 50, how long is that of a
50.
career? Then he was doing our music, our arrangements, right?
Okay.
Anyhow, after I recorded with Gabriel de la O, and then I was doing international television because they saw the Azteca thing and they really got into the idea of what I was doing, because my thing is to empower people.
Sure. Okay.
You know, you teach them. Like you said earlier, when I hear that Mexican music, you think of me. Well, that's a
true.
wonderful compliment.
Oh, it is a that I'm saying it as a compliment. Yeah, I love it. And you know what you did for me here that you have no idea about. Like I'm Mexican, right? And I was raised in Canada, but I have my parents that are like, directly from Mexico, and I have all my culture and all that comes from them, comes from my aunts, my cousins, my everybody. My daughter doesn't have that because she's here in Taiwan.
Right.
So she thinks that Mexican music and like mariachi, all of it is you.
No.
So you're mariachi.
That's what she calls me.
Yeah. So all of Mexico's culture, all of everything that we've been talking about, all the way up to the music of mariachi, to her is you. Which is pretty cool, right? It's pretty cool, right? So she loves you. When we saw Coco, she was just like, "Oh my God, they must know Juan. They're just like Juan. They're mariachi like Juan." And so she thought that, like, she thinks that like the original, like the OG mariachi is you for her, which is pretty cool, right?
OG.
You're the OG, man. You're the el mariachi is you. Yeah. So to be in Taiwan and to be missing, part of the culture like this, and then to have somebody like you come along and introduce it, it's pretty amazing, man. So that's something that you did for me and for my daughter. So it's pretty amazing, man. So I appreciate it.
That's what she called me.
Mariachi. Yeah.
She just looked up at me. She said, "Oh, hi, Mariachi."
Yeah,
Just
she
like
thinks
that.
that's your name.
Wow.
That's you. Yeah. So you're mariachi. Yeah.
She's darling.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Very impressive.
Because what's funny? We watch this YouTube channel of this Mexican American guy, and he's these are spicier, man. So so your tacos are coming. You can go for it if you want,
macho
man.
Spicy chicken.
You can go for it if you want, because we have them all sorted,
but I'm not
right?
that macho.
Yeah, well, you love her, not a fighter, right? Yeah,
no, aquí, mano.
yeah. Your tacos are coming, man. So that's why it's like I'm gonna be eating.
You eat.
I'll eat, but I'll wait
Go
for your
for
tacos too, man.
Yeah. Que se come, que se come.
But I was saying, like, my daughter, we watched this. There's this Mexican American guy who has a YouTube channel, it's David Lopez, right? David Lopez,
right?
And he does. He's a Mexican American guy, but he has like this alter ego who's like a immigrant guy from Mexico, and it's hilarious because he nails it. And his name is Juan, right? So when I said, "Oh, Juan is coming today," she's like, "What? What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Oh, Juan," and she's like, "Oh." But she thinks it's him, and I'm like, no, not Juan. I'm like, mariachi. She's like, oh, mariachi. So she doesn't know that your name is Juan.
Right.
She thinks mariachi is you. So it's crazy, right? It's a pretty cool thing. Like, mariachi, oh, that's you. Like, it's not all the thing we've been talking about for like, a half hour already. Mariachi to her, she's 8 years old, is you. It's pretty cool, right? Yeah. You're carrying the torch, man. Yeah.
And the thing is, when
Do you
I
want
went
a beer or something? You good? Yes. No
thank
pressure.
you.
No pressure. Okay.
I'm cool. The thing is, when I went to Mexico City and I came with where's the Azteca picture again?
We'll get that.
The Mexica.
There we go.
When I came with the idea of the Mexica and I was posing around downtown, right where they would have had their
That's you,
rituals.
right?
That's
crazy.
Zocalo, baby,
Yeah.
right there in front of the sinking church. Every year it goes down about an inch or so, and they have to put a new tighten up the base there. But it's right down there, And anyhow, when I came with these concepts, and I was so passionate about them myself, and still am, it touched them because they realized. A lot of them did not know, and even today I'm sure, that Mexico or Mexicano comes from the word Mexica,
Mexica.
Let me introduce you to them. The concept of them, excuse me.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yes,
sure.
I'm just saying that they didn't know that the Aztecs called themselves Mexica,
Okay.
Mexicanos. So,
Mexicanos.
so when I came with this passion about what they were doing and saying and did, I learned the dance, some dances, not all of them, of course, and I learned some poetry, and I play theater, and I integrated these concepts as I do today with my music. I'll put a poem in and stuff like the dancing and all that. It's the same thing, but just a different format. But anyhow, the understanding is that they knew what I was doing.
Yep.
And they really appreciated that somebody. One lady came up to me, a Mexican woman. She says, "Tú eres el muchacho que habla tan, who speaks with so much honor about our people." She said, right there on the street in Mexico City.
Really?
It is one of the most beautiful
That's
compliments.
that's an amazing compliment right there.
It
Yeah,
is. That speaks so highly. And she was Indian, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I mean, because you have over 1 million Nahuatl speaking people there, okay? So, and Indians from various parts of the provincias, from different provincias, small towns, and all around that come to Mexico City, right? Just like Taipei, people come here. But what it is that when I read things like this poem, I'll do it real quickly. If you don't mind, I'd like to start in Nahuatl,
Please,
Azteca.
please do.
Okay, this is a poem written by King Netzahualcoyotl, Ilhuil Camina, and basically he said this in Quechquich. No, excuse me, that's another one. Incoac ni mikis moglalcuilpan xineshuca y uan incoac tiasti tlascalchi uas ompa no pampa xixoca y uan claclanits si ualpili cleca tichoca san wili wishinanquilis xoxopic Inkeal Whittle y Uan Popoca. Aquí, madrecita, cuando duermes sobre tu fuego para siempre, hazme florecer. Y cuando vayas a hacer tortillas allá, por mí llora. Y si alguien te preguntará, mujercita, ¿por qué llora? Prontamente contéstale, verde está la leña y Umea. Hear now, mother, when you go to sleep forever over your fire, you will make me blossom. And when you are over there making tortillas, for me, cry. And if anyone should ask you, little old woman, why do you cry? Quickly answer them, green is the firewood and the smoke.
Wow. All right, brother. I love the passion. I love the passion. I love the poems. I love the fact that you'll take it and you'll translate it so that people can understand what's going on, because there are beautiful Mexican songs, and
Right.
people don't know what it means.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're like,
Yeah.
wow, that sounds really cool. But it does, of course, it does sound better in Spanish, and but
Yes.
but people don't know the meaning, right? So that's I love that you translate those, and you even brought out a couple of songs, like when you came out and you did your mariachi night at one of my places. You even did some Bruno Mars,
Oh yeah.
right?
Hip-hop.
You did some but you did Bruno Mars like mariachi version, which is crazy, which is really cool. And you even do some Chinese, some Mandarin, right?
Yes.
Which is also like crazy. I mean, how does it? How do you learn? How do you choose something that you're like? Obviously, nobody knows every song, right? So how do you be like, this is a song, I'm gonna learn it, and I'm gonna mariachify this song?
To me, it's very important, first of all, to find a song that people love.
Okay.
Again, going back to the passion.
Okay.
I see their passion, and I know what they love. It doesn't matter what I love.
Okay.
I could hear 10 Taiwanese Chinese songs,
Okay.
and I won't be the one to decide which one they love. I'll ask them. And so once I find out what everybody, because they're pretty, you know how
That
they
one
can be
song
very
that you do is
unified about
everybody
what they love.
loves that song. Yeah, for sure.
Too bad you couldn't play that one, the
Well,
Panyo one.
what happens if we play it?
Yeah.
YouTube will like copyright strike us, and then the whole show will get taken down.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like pictures is okay, but
Even though I recorded here in Taiwan and stuff, that's okay.
yeah,
That's fine.
I'll. Do you have
People
a
have to
video of
come
it?
here.
Yeah. Do they have a? Well, we'll record one on Friday, and we'll put it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do a live one here. Yeah.
No problem.
Okay.
But Chinese. We're talking about a Chinese song, very very famous here. They all know it. If you come to Taiwan or you come to China, you need to learn Pangyo, which means friend.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's the most
Pangyo,
beautiful
yeah.
lyric song. You know, it's just fascinating. You know, it says something to the effect that each one of us walks through the wind and through the rain, and that you have made mistakes and you have cried and you understand what loneliness is. But remember, friend, do not look far. I will always be there with you. He says life is a sentence, life is a toast, and let us toast to life. Concepts like that, very beautiful, very beautiful.
It is a great song, and actually, that's one of the songs that it's kind of like a "We Are the World." You know what I mean? Like everybody knows it, and everybody knows the lyrics. And you talk to like any Taiwanese person, and they're like, they know
good
it.
point, yeah.
They know it. You know what I mean? Like it's one of the few songs that every Taiwanese knows. So when you hear it, everybody starts singing it or humming it, and when you sing it, the whole place lights up. Because they're like, oh, there's all the mariachi guy. No one speaks Spanish.
Well, you know, I speed it up a little bit too.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah.
I mean, only because
gotta make it
the
your
original is a
own, too.
little slower of a ballad.
Sure.
You know, remember? La 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 la. No, I don't do that.
Well, you got to make it your own.
You know,
Mariachi
you got to put all the dynamics in it. You know? I mean, you know, enough to get the people.
Well, you
just
can't
get 'em
dance to
going,
something
man.
that's kind of like
Yeah, you just
right,
you
yeah.
just got to yank them out there, you know,
yeah.
and it doesn't take much because the Taiwanese, you know, the Chinese, you know,
They love it. Yeah, sure.
they're lovely people. They're lovely people.
Well, that's the
and-
word. That's the word of the day. You know, you mariachify the song. You know,
Yeah,
you mariachify the song, right? And
Right.
you make it danceable, and you make it like
Americanize it,
it's like,
Chicanize it,
like,
all those things that we
hip,
are.
Make it hip and fun, right?
You know, people can ask me, "Who are you?" And I'm thinking, like you asked me earlier, and I say, "I don't know."
Okay, yeah. It's not an
'Cause
easy.
We're all of this.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy to answer. I mean, when people ask me that, I mean, it's not that easy to answer.
We're that
Yeah.
ambassador. We're that poet singer coming on top of the mountain and looking down upon it, right? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? This is, you know, just like the beginning of my play, right?
Sure, of
and I'm
course.
just saying, you know what I'm saying? Emulating amongst the flowers. You know,
Gotcha.
this is our beautiful reality. You know, and I'm so grateful for what we do have.
Ooh, fish tacos are here for Mariachi Juan.
Yes.
You want some salsita on there or what?
Señorita?
What kind of salsa do you want? The green one?
Anything that's not too spicy.
The green one, yeah. And I also want another horchata, yeah?
Okay, just no ice.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
please. Thank you so much.
Get in on that, brother. I'll have one more too, thank you. Get in on that, brother. So what about this picture? I'm going to pull up another one. I got 4 pictures, right? We got one. We got Papa right there, you know. And then we got you. And I prepped 4 pictures. Boom. Oh, I hear your eyes are going to light up on that one, brother. So tell me all about it. Tell me about it.
Well, there's my best friend on the right, Abden Peña.
Is that you?
On the right, that's him.
Okay. Yeah. There you go, brother.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Get in there. Eat.
Anyhow, he was 5th in the state of California for wrestling. You imagine how good that is.
Oh, wow.
Because guys come from all over the country.
Yes.
And excuse me for beginning this way, but
No, it's okay.
You know, each person, I always like to give face to importance. And he married the girl too, the second one behind him,
Okay.
Lydia Peña.
Okay.
They're over in a small town over Lompoc, in the rolling hills there of Lompoc,
Yeah,
California.
right now, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, shout out to them. Hopefully they're
shout
around
out.
watching
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
In fact, I was their best man.
Oh, really?
And that's me there. I was the drill leader, and I
Okay.
got my little suspenders on.
That's you in the front on the left.
Yes, on the left.
That's you. All
That's a
right.
very popular
It's a beautiful picture, dude.
for the Chicano movement.
I love it. I
From what
love
I was
that.
told
Is that
that-
the brown beret?
That's a brown beret,
Brown
junior
beret.
brown berets in
Junior
Santa
brown
Barbara,
berets.
California. Yeah,
All
we
right.
we used to lead the moratoriums because we were, we had three. See those rows? There's two, right? And there was
Yeah.
a third one.
Okay.
And they were about 10, 15 long,
Okay.
and so we did everything in precision. We were all very dedicated 14-year-olds, maybe as young as 13. I'm not positive if that's the August, the 1970, the main where Ruben Salazar was killed.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's the one. There were 4 people that died.
Okay.
That's quite a bit if you think about,
Oh, for sure. Yeah. for
especially
sure.
when there were young girls dancing, and there was a nice performance that we expected once we got there. All these little shows and performances, and then the LA sheriffs came in and with their tear gas and the beatings and the killings, and Ruben Salazar was shot in the head with a tear gas canister. But we were looking for reforms because of the racism, because of, and more than anything, get this, we were only like 4, maybe 5% of the national population.
Okay.
But yet over 20% of the death, how would you say? Death
Toll, I guess.
toll
I don't. Okay.
in Vietnam.
Okay.
Yeah. One of my good dear friends
Really?
named Juan,
Rest in peace.
he
Juanito,
shot,
yeah.
he used to hold a fire blower. Yeah,
Like a
Chicanos, you know
flamethrower?
how we are,
Yeah,
man.
man,
You
let's
put us
go.
out there, we're gonna
We're going
fight.
front. We're going front line, baby.
We're
Let's
like
go.
the Chihuahua. Even
Yeah.
if we're small, we're gonna be tough.
We're going. Yeah, for sure we are. Yeah.
So he had a fire blower, believe it
Okay.
or not, and he loved his country, man. Oh man, did he
Okay.
love his country? I'm telling you, man, he was a patriot. And I'm not. I love my country too. Don't get me wrong. It's just that we just haven't always had the fair deal here. Don't
That's
still have
true
that
too.
going
Yeah,
on.
yeah, that's true. I know a little bit about those deals.
You know
yeah.
about it.
I know about those deals
So
a little bit. Yeah.
he was in the front lines. He got medals and everything, for his bravery. Vietnam. He just died before I came back about 6 years ago from Agent Orange.
Okay.
So
I don't know what that is, man. So
Oh,
Agent
you never heard
Orange?
of Agent Orange?
No, I haven't.
Go to YouTube and find out.
Agent Orange, okay.
Horrific.
Okay.
But
okay.
because of the birth defects that continue to this day, and the water is undrinkable and poisoned, et cetera, et
Really?
cetera. Oh, it's
Okay,
amazing.
Thank you.
But anyhow,
Agent Orange. I'm gonna
we
have
had
to
a lot of
Google that.
Chicanos.
Okay.
20% of the death rate was ours,
they
and we
send
were only
it-
like 4 or 5% of the national population. Now we outnumber the Black Americans, But at that time,
Really?
and blacks were dying at a disproportionate number too. With all respect, as far as races go, I mean, being in America, we can't help but talk about races. Let me say something about races, if I may.
You can. You may.
I love black people and I love white people. I love all people.
Yeah, I agree. Me too.
Right? Isn't that
sure.
the right thing? And our heart takes us that way. Unfortunately, we see the forces at work in our society in the United States. I mean, we know, like at the turn of the century, they were hanging more black people during a time of peace than anywhere in history. During a time of peace, just at the
Okay.
turn of the century. And of course, they were killing Mexicans over there in Texas in big numbers. But what I'm saying is that, to me, like for example, the Black Lives Matter. To me, all lives matter. In
Okay.
spite of the fact, I feel that maybe it's the Christian in me, and I'm sure that's part of it. But we have to be forgiving, and all lives matter. Whites,
Okay.
all people matter. And so,
I agree. All people matter for sure.
yes, Black lives definitely, but
Of course,
all
Black
people.
Lives Matter. Sure.
Yeah. And that's just the way I see it, and I think we're going to be moving there next. It's taking a progression. I'm glad of these people becoming aware, because black people are killed in big numbers by
Sure.
police. They're scared.
Of course they are. Yeah.
And they've
That's
got those
it's a
guns.
sad situation, actually. That whole thing. Yeah. That's a rough one, man. Yeah. It's a long story, but it's not it's not a good story. You know, it sucks. Yeah.
So I mean, there are a lot of poor whites, and right now in the United States, you know, with the
COVID's killing a lot of businesses.
With 30 million people unemployed, and the homelessness. Right now, at this moment, as we speak, people are getting evicted, and police are coming over, knocking on doors with guns, and you know, everybody's scared of a gun, right? Everybody's got to go. You know, if you get that eviction notice, the judge has signed it, you have to go.
You gotta go.
And that's what's happening right in this moment. And so that's why I say
2020.
all lives matter. We got to get to that point. Sure, Black lives, and you know, I'm all for it. But we have to really start helping each other as Americans, because you know, we have to be a good example for the rest of the world. And unfortunately, you know, we've got the voting's coming up, and hopefully we'll get some good political order going right now, because things aren't going too well. The leadership is very weak with the COVID, and look at what's happening with the natural disasters. We have to address these issues. Okay. But in any case, you tell me what you'd like to talk about, brother.
Hey,
you want me to take a bite?
I want you to eat your tacos. That's what I want you to do, man, before they get cold. Shoot. You know, the tacos. I'm throw that picture back up there. I didn't know when I was getting these pictures all sorted out. I didn't know that was you. You said you're 14 there? No, you can't be. You don't look 14 at all, brother. You think
Football,
so?
Brother.
Yeah. Damn.
Wrestling.
That's what the 14-year-old Chicanos look like, eh? Okay. That's incredible, bro. Also want to get a little shot of you enjoying your taco there too, brother. It's good stuff, you know.
Yeah, I love these fish tacos. They're really good.
Thanks, man.
It's all good, man.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Horchata. Yeah, long time no see, horchata.
Horchata, there you go, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking about growing up on the east side of Santa Barbara, right? Mm-hmm. Is that, how would you describe sort of that kind of upbringing? I mean, you're the brown berets and
right.
And is that sort of thing. So is Santa Barbara is a small area? I don't know it very well. I mean, I've heard of it, but it's a small area.
It's grown a lot because there's more colleges and things.
Okay.
When I was growing up, there were only about 50,000 people, but a lot of the Hollywood actors go there.
My father, Santa Barbara,
played with a fantastic trio. Used to perform for Michael Douglas. You know, Kirk Douglas' son.
Of course, yeah.
They'd have private parties. Robert Mitchum, he was the guy busted for smoking marijuana back in the day.
Okay.
Cool cat. They would have John Travolta. And my father would say, "Oh yeah, he was out there dancing with his dog." I'm saying, "Oh really?"
Travolta. That's hilarious.
And you know, a lot of these people, they hang out there in. It's been so long, I can't remember the name of the town there. But my father used to play there with his band, and he also played the Bolero Room. The Beatles, when they were famous, they used to play in the Bolero Room there in Hollywood.
Really?
My father played there. The $1 Million Club. Big places, man. Good time, the golden era of Latin music. Lucho Gatica is another one who I really used to listen to a lot. You know, to get, you know, to develop your ear and the resonance when you sing and things of that nature. He affected my style a lot. Him and Javier Solis, I like to study them.
So those are the guys that kind of give you the inspiration for when you want to.
Right.
Let's say you want to do a new song. You want to get something new.
One of my favorite
songs, you go back.
Singers also in English is Luther Vandross.
Oh yeah, of course I know him.
A House is Not a Home.
Yeah,
he said that the National Black Association, NACCP or something. That's one of my big teachers. Is Luther Vandross in that song?
Yeah. He's fantastic. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So I watch really well, and I learn, and as a teacher I teach, so I know I have to. Okay, what is it this person needs, or how does this go now? And then you remember yourself and you improve in things. So that's what I like about teaching. I teach singing, I teach dancing.
So when you're teaching, you focus a lot on the singing and the dancing.
Right, and just and breaking things down to the basics. Like when we do here.
Sure.
They're doing corridos. They're doing. I've even thrown out La Bamba here and there a couple of times.
Because people know it and they like it. It's good stuff, right?
La
Bamba, La Bamba.
Traditional La Bamba. I don't play the rock and roll one. This Friday coming, because we're celebrating the Mexican...
You're going to do some La Bamba? Or
what? It's going to be all, Mexican. The Huapangos and all those wonderful genres of music from
Okay.
Mexico only. In other words, I won't be doing any hip hop or anything.
Okay,
to,
any Bruno
to break
Mars?
it up.
No Bruno Mars in there, right?
No, I do others too.
Yeah.
Far Eastern movement. I like that. Those are
I like that
Asian
old.
brothers.
I like that old El Paso one, man. You know that. That El
well,
Paso,
that'll work too because that's a
good
Mexican
song. That's a
concept.
good. I love that one.
would
That's a
have
good
my-
song.
Yeah,
too.
that's Eddie's song there.
I love that song, man. I don't know why. Growing up, it wasn't a part
Out
of
in
my
the
culture.
West Texas town of El Paso, I fell in love with a Mexican girl.
Yeah.
Nighttime would find me at Eddie's Cantina. Music would play and Felina would whirl. Blacker than night were the eyes of Felina, wicked and evil while casting a spell. I was in love with this Mexican maiden. I was in love, but in vain I could tell.
Okay, good. Awesome. Thanks, man.
Eddie's Cantina, huh?
Eddie's Cantina.
I
Yeah,
met your name again too at the end.
Yeah,
you
I know. Yeah. I remember, because I obviously I've heard the song many times, and then the first time you sang it, I was listening to it, I was really enjoying it, and then you flipped it and you put Eddie's Cantina in there. I was like, oh, wow, I loved it. It was great. I loved it, man. So good, so good. Love that. I got one more picture for you to look at, brother. I'm not sure what you're gonna think about it, but let's see what we got. What is this? What is this bad boy about? What do you think? You eat your tacos, man. Enjoy.
That was just a guy who made a book. He calls himself the Last Chicano, the book of himself. I haven't read it or anything. I thought it was interesting.
Okay, yeah, The Last Chicano. So it's an actual book written by this dude right here. What's his name? Chicano artist. Okay.
Well, I mean, he's a teacher of a political science, I believe, at Berkeley, which is
Okay.
quite cool.
Okay, that is cool.
And
Okay.
you know, he's doing his little thing there, politicizing people, and I thought, well, how nice that he has a book out talking about it.
That's cool. I mean, is it a newish book or?
Oh, I don't know. I
Yeah,
really
okay,
don't
I'm
know
curious.
that much about
Okay,
it. I just
okay.
thought the
Okay.
concept was interesting.
Yeah, okay.
You know.
It's a cool one. Anyways, for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Very cool.
I would, right. Berkeley is right there. I used to perform at. Have you ever been to the Pyramid Building in San Francisco?
I have not even. I've never been to. I haven't been to San Francisco, so definitely not yet. Yeah, the only thing that when someone says San Francisco, that the first thing that pops into my head is that old song. Remember that? If you're going, you hear that old song? Like that super old song. That's the first thing that pops into my head. It's random. I don't know who sings it. It's probably like from the
That's the
60s.
60s,
You know what I mean?
Hippie days.
Yeah, like super. That's the first thing that pops into my head when somebody says San Francisco. So people will be chatting with me. Hey, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Kitimat. Where are you from? And they'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm from San Francisco. My brain, for the next like 30 seconds, what they're telling me, it won't even register. My head will just be like, if you're going. They're like talking, and I'm like, San Francisco. That's my head just, it's weird. Flower in your hair. And then when that's done, I'm back in. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, interesting. It's weird. It's random. Like there's these keywords like that just, and San Francisco is one of them for me. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's a random, but
That's a nice little town. If you go back to the States,
Yeah? Okay.
they have the whole Mission area district.
Okay.
It's all Latino.
I've
They got
heard of Mission.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really nice. I like San Francisco. They have a nice community there.
It's a lot of Chicanos, you said? Latino?
That whole Mission is a nice little mixture of Latinos too.
Okay, good. Well, I think
Very interesting history.
the whole I think the whole Latino population is growing now, right? It's not, in the beginning I would think mostly Mexicans, right? Way back, but now it's a lot of Latinos from all over, I would guess, right? So
Yes.
the Latinos down there, like when I grew up, my hometown, small place, there was us, and then there was my aunt and uncle and their kids. That's it for Mexicans. I mean, they're my cousins. That's it.
Right.
So okay, there's 3 families, but they're all my cousins, right?
Right.
Aside from that, no other Mexicans. But there was like a Bolivian family and then a Peruvian family and a Colombian family.
Okay.
And we all speak the same language, right? And everybody was, whenever there's a party or something, everybody just got together. It was a big party and it was great. And we all got along. But after obviously leaving my sheltered little town where everyone's just kind of like, hey, this is great. I heard that some of the countries or some of them, maybe they don't get along. So how would that work out, say, in like the southern states? If it's the Latino community, everyone's just like, hey, we're Latino, we're good to go? Or is there kind of like, oh, this guy's from, I don't know, Nicaragua, this guy's from El Salvador, or no, we don't like him because of that? Because I've heard sort of things like that. But in Canada, we don't have that. No. Because there's so few, and then everyone's like, hey, we're family, right?
Right.
But I mean,
that's cool.
There's more in the States, obviously, right? More Latinos, right?
Right.
So how would that work out? I mean,
well, let me see. In the States, I've lived in the San Francisco Bay Area. Santa Barbara is mostly all Chicano. You know what I mean? Oh, don't get me wrong. It's only about 30% maximum. It's not like Texas where you got numbers like 80, 90%. You know what I mean?
Is that how it is there? I don't even know that.
Texas
is massive.
Like Mexico.
Really?
Further south you go down.
Oh, it makes sense. Okay.
But I mean, the most part, I think that people are pretty understanding about people and getting along. Some of the youth, there are some gang situations going on, north against south. But
that's always going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But
it is. And hopefully that's straightening out. But otherwise, people get along quite well in the Latino community.
Okay, well, that's good news. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the first time I heard that's in certain areas they don't, I was like devastated. I was like, what? Well, we're like, everyone's the same. We all speak the same language, a little bit different slang here and there, but pretty much all the same, right? The food, all the food's good. It's a little bit different here, a little bit different there, but still good. A lot of beans and rice, so the first time I heard that some don't get along, I thought, what? That's, for me, it's crazy. For me, it's crazy to judge someone on race or upbringing or religion or whatever. I mean, I always think if somebody's nice, somebody's a cool person, then that's cool. Then I'm going to be nice and everybody's cool, right?
Yes.
It doesn't always work like that, but that's kind of my philosophy, yeah? Well, I mean, what about yourself? What do you think?
When I went to Mexico too, though, speaking of sociologically speaking of people,
sure.
I was really impressed by how open-hearted they can really be. And for example, they put me in the largest Spanish-speaking newspaper in the world. The first article was with 2 pictures.
Really?
Imagine.
Okay.
In espectáculo,
Okay.
And it's called El Universal, and it's just fascinating how when that's the beauty of art. When you can touch people with it,
sure,
they'll really be supportive, and there's always room for somebody like that. Just like you found your niche with Mexican food here. There's room,
Yeah, there's room, and I mean, like a month ago or maybe 2 months ago. I had a guy, a Mexican guy he has a place downtown. I had him on. I'm like, come on by. Let's chat about Mexican food. Let's chat about, he has a Mexican restaurant that's downtown, and good people. I think I think Mexicans are always really like, loving, and I think there's a little he was saying there's like a there's like a little spark where Mexicans are like. That's what we think anyway. Obviously, we're biased, right? But I mean, I always find that
so.
we go out of the Mexicans will kind of go out of their way to make things happen.
I think there's a mutual understanding and a respect because I have a lot of respect for the people, and I know you do too, and they know that. If we acted like we thought they were better, they would know that too.
Sure.
And that's why they are so supportive, I think, of Chicano artists and other people too. I think they're really open-hearted and minded. I think it's a great place for anybody to perform in Mexico City. Because, I mean, like you might go to New York City and they might say, oh, well, what do you have to offer? Oh, I see, this is your artwork. And this is what you do. But we're kind of more interested in the Russian ballet right now. And
Okay, I understand. Yeah.
They're coming
That's
to
what's
town.
in right now. Yeah, you're not in right now. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure, of
So,
course. I understand. I do. I know what you mean. Yeah, I
Yeah,
understand.
I think what's wonderful about Mexico is how, there's that unity and there's that respect. I think as far as being a Latino performer, I think the Philippines is also a very good place to go.
Really? Philippines? Okay.
Yes, because there was a very famous TV program called Marimar, and Talina Fernandez is a beautiful,
Yeah, I've heard
talented,
of that. Sure, of course. Yeah, I've heard of that.
beautiful, talented Mexican actress, and it was a big hit over there.
Really? I didn't know
Oh,
that.
yeah.
In the Philippines.
Oh yeah, that's a wonderful place. They put me in 2 of their major newspapers there.
They took care of you over in the Philippines?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're very nice.
When did you go there?
Oh, that was about 10 years ago, maybe
Okay.
12.
Okay, before you came here.
Yeah, they again, the open arms. They're the Latinos of Asia.
Yeah. I think that I've heard that, and I also think that, and also the language has some similarities as well.
Well,
right?
the Spaniards were there for at least 75 years or so.
Yeah.
The Spaniards, so
Yeah.
they have quite a bit of Spanish, and they have some Spanish in their language.
Okay.
But they were also very supportive, and it was wonderful. I love the way they have dance, during their news breaks, they might have a band and some hot chicks dancing and stuff. Instead of just this continuation of the same old situations.
Sure.
They'll throw on the music and the girls, and in Mexico they like to do that too. These variety shows and news shows. They make
Oh my gosh, yeah! I grew up with my family watching those all the time, and it's pretty funny. I mean, the comedy is definitely different than what in Canadian comedy or whatever, but it's cool. I enjoy watching all that stuff, and I enjoyed going to Mexico a lot as a kid. And let's just say, you watch TV and you would see Die Hard, on TV in full Spanish, and it's called Duro de Matar, and it's just it's crazy because it's that's hard to kill, isn't it? And my mom would be like, don't. But it's great. I love going back there, and the best thing, food is incredible in Mexico. I love going there, but family's always nice, man. I always go back, and when we see
What
the
part of
family
Mexico?
from Guadalajara, yeah,
Oh, how
from
cool.
Guadalajara, yeah. So most of my family's from there, and then close by, sort of the towns that are close by. The family kind of spread out a little bit there, but it's nice to go back, man. And what blows me away is how cheap it is still. I remember it being cheap as a kid and then a teenager, whatever, when you kind of know a little bit about how money works. But then you go as an adult, and it's cheap. It's crazy. You see, this guy selling his little taquitos, little street-sized tacos, and you get 5 of those for $1 or something ridiculous, 50 pesos or whatever, something crazy. And then I don't remember what the peso is worth right now, but when I would do the math, I was just like, wait a minute, what? That's crazy. It's so cheap, and people were like, no, that's the price. That's normal. That's not cheap or expensive. It's just the normal price. And I was blown away, right? So we stayed with my uncle the last time I went, and I'll tell you a little story so you can eat your taquito there, and I said, so, my uncle, he took care of us. We went down, we were looking at some equipment, we were looking at meeting some family. And I said, okay, so let's, I think it was the last night or the second last night, we didn't have anything planned. We did all the shopping and whatever, all the stuff we needed to do. So I told my uncle, okay, everybody's got time today. He's like, yeah. I said, let's go to a restaurant. And he's like, okay. I said, let's pick a fancy one.
Yeah.
Pick a fancy restaurant.
Why not?
And I'm like, I'm paying. I'm like, dinner's on me. There's me and my wife were there, and I think it was 4 of them. And I said, let's go. I'm like, pick a fancy one that, you only go to maybe once in a while because it's kind of overpriced, or maybe a fancy one you've wanted to try or whatever. I'm like, whatever. You guys are, my family, you guys are always good to us. I'm thinking, how much could it be? Whatever. Let's just do it. It's my family.
You took your wife.
Yeah, I took my wife. Yeah, she loved it. I'll tell you about that in a sec.
What's her name again?
Joe. Yeah. So we went, and she loved it. And actually, we went, and the food was incredible. They had this. They served this special grilled marinated meat in molcajetes. The molcajete for the guacamole. and they would take the whole stone molcajete and they would put the whole thing in the oven, and the thing would come out roasted in, and I was just like, it's incredible. It's really good. Good food, amazing. Had a bunch of beers, Bohemia, and really nice beers from Mexico, right? Good stuff. And then the bill comes. I'm like, all right, no, I'll take it. And then I take it, and it was like maybe, and I don't remember pesos, but in NT, it's probably like, I don't know, like 5,000 or 6,000 NT or something like that. But we ate like kings, man. It was crazy. We really we pigged out. Everyone drank. It was nuts. And it was like
no mariachis.
Yeah. They actually had mariachis there. They did. They actually did. Yeah, they had everything there. I mean, it was like, a fancy place, right? So we did that, and it was pretty amazing, man. And it was, again, I think it was 5,000 NT. But they were like, well, that's, well, he's like, well, I'll chip in, it's all good. I'm like, no, I didn't want to say it's nothing, right? Because I don't want to be rude or anything. But I was like, no, this is okay. I take care of this. It's no problem. Whereas the last time I went home and we went out to like an IHOP for breakfast, I'm like, breakfast is on me. My family, we're all there. Was maybe six or eight of us. That was like 10,000 NT for like pancakes and that. Whereas in Mexico, it's like mariachi and beers and molcajetes and everything. And I was just like, everything was incredible. I thought, holy, it's crazy. Mexico's so cheap, man. It's crazy. I love it there.
Oh, man.
I love it there. And the beach and the people and just weather's nice. The last time I had my wife there, we went to San Juan de Dios, which is like a what is it called? Like a market. And we got coconut, and scraped out the coconut. We drank, and they put sal, chile, limon in the coconut, and we was drinking it up. It was good. It was good stuff, man. Oh, unbelievable, man. Unbelievable stuff.
And the street vendors,
so ridiculous.
Even at
cheap.
nighttime. Oh my God, they make the most incredible food.
Yeah.
There he is. How you doing, Captain?
¿Qué pasó, man? Bien? You
Mi
good?
Capitán,
Yeah.
¿cómo estás?
Yes. Yeah. ¿Qué tal, man? Bien, ¿y tú? Yeah? All good or what? Yeah?
Everything okay?
Okay, man. All right.
This is a wonderful man here.
Yes, this is.
Aquarius.
Yeah.
Acuario eres, ¿no?
Capricornio.
Capricornio, mira. Qué bueno.
This guy is
Está tirándole.
Yeah, who's this guy?
Hey, I'm flexible.
Everything could be okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You want to come around and say hi? Sure.
Why not?
Come in and say hi.
Hey,
this is
how are you?
Pakistan.
Everything okay?
Yes, everything's great, brother. Yeah.
Mexico here.
Mexico here, yes.
That's by you, my friend.
Yes, thank
By
you.
the
man.
way, do you know which day is today, right?
Yes,
You
of
get in the
course.
camera,
Yeah.
we can't see you.
You want to come in and talk about it?
Come
yeah.
on over here.
You
Come
know
on
which
over.
day is today, right?
We do, of course. Yeah. Get in and tell what day it
Which
is
day
today. It's the Independence.
Right,
Dia,
we are
dia, eh?
exactly. We're celebrating
Yes.
the Independence Day in Mexico.
Yes.
Actually,
sir.
we call I don't know how to say in English, but probably it's the shout of.
Like the scream, the cry, the
Scream,
shout,
the cry,
exactly.
exactly.
El grito,
That's the
right?
thing.
Yeah, of course.
That's the
of
thing.
course.
So, very nice to see you guys.
Yeah, nice to see you too,
Listen,
man.
in Mexico, when you were growing up, on this date, is it important? Both Cinco de Mayo, would you guys get dressed up, the little kids, and dance? And
Of course.
both
Both
days.
days.
Yeah, it's okay.
Actually, the 14, 15 night
Okay.
and 16 night.
Okay.
16 the whole day, sorry. Everything starts on the 15th
Okay.
night.
Okay.
So in this case, in Taiwan
Yeah.
should be was yesterday.
Okay, sure.
it was
Okay,
yesterday.
yeah.
So it's 16.
It's a party all
The
night.
16 is the Independence Day.
Okay.
That's correct.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kids are so beautiful the way they have fun with the kids. They'll
Yeah.
dress them up with makeup and their hat and put them in parades. I mean, right? The kids.
Right. Correct.
You're not like, here that we don't,
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
In the States,
So, yeah.
States we do, but I mean, I just
That's
see
not going to be the
Yeah,
same.
yeah,
pictures.
Probably a bit different, right?
So
Yeah,
cute,
sure.
yeah.
Anyway,
Of course.
it's still cute.
Of course,
Exactly.
yeah.
For all the
Okay.
holidays, Dia de los Muertos, they go all
one more
out.
day, of
Yeah,
course.
that's a beautiful.
What's
too,
another
yeah.
big holiday?
We celebrate all the very important days in Mexico, like the Dia de los
Yeah,
Muertos.
Los Muertos. Yeah.
We have
Sure.
many days like
Many
that.
days. Many. Yeah.
And we love to to keep
Party,
living
have fun,
these traditions
tradition.
in Mexico.
I remember being in Mexico City in the subway, and everybody was carrying a little baby Jesus doll.
Well,
The Jesus baby
But-
doll.
I don't know.
You
Well-
ever heard of that?
yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, but this is for the Christmas Day, I guess.
They got all kinds of holiday, like the Japanese, you know.
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know.
And
I can't compete with Mexican knowledge with this guy, man. I have no idea.
They got all
I
kinds
can't.
of stuff. And then I remember another day they actually have a day for the donkey. The donkey that brought Mary and Jesus into that small town. Of
I see. I didn't know that
Bethlehem.
either. Yeah.
Anyhow, they will cap on their friends. Cap means tease their friends, and they'll say, "Oh, today is your big day. I'm so happy for you." You know.
I know what you
Day of
mean.
the donkey.
Day of the donkey. Okay, so you say.
Okay, guys, I leave you to keep
man.
going
Nos
with
vemos,
your
yeah. Take care,
live
brother.
show.
See you soon. Okay.
Thank you for inviting
Gotta
me
get
to
you on
come
soon,
with you
man.
to share.
We're gonna have Baltazar
You're
on
the
the
man.
show
You're
soon.
the
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
No, you are.
Yeah. Right on,
Thank you
brother.
very much,
Have a
Eddie.
good one, man. Nos
Gracias.
vemos, gracias, Right on, dude. How you feeling? You okay? So I think I've got a lot of stuff I think sorted. But do you have anything else you feel like discussing or chatting about or sharing? I'll point that back.
Well,
at
you
your
know,
mouth.
I guess for me, I think it's just about, during these confusing times, I think it's really important that we be passionate, and stick with the creative art. And this is what will make us happy.
Okay.
Share the love, every day, and be as creative as we can, because I know that by my sharing, I get back much more than I, give. And
Okay.
and I just would suggest for people to stay passionate, in spite of the craziness that's going on amongst us, particularly in the States. But also here, life is quite difficult. A lot of people have lost their jobs, businesses. This is a survivor, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, we're trying.
A survivor, right?
We're trying. We got to hustle a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I would just suggest that everybody try to, find that love within inside, because really that's where it's at. And what makes me happy is, being creative and sharing with people and teaching and giving to them what I can, as far as, my love is through, whether it's writing or singing, dancing, whatever it is. But whatever it is that makes you happy, whatever it is you can share with others, I think that's important. Be teachers, be lovers of life. Try to find happiness that way. And I think it'll really help you.
So do what you love and be passionate. That's the advice we're getting from El Mariachi Juan. Juanito, we love you. This Friday, if you guys have some free time, if you don't make free time, come here. Eddie's Cantina this Friday night at about 7 o'clock. We're going to start. We're going to do mariachi night. We got Juan. He's going to have everything. He's going to be looking fantastic. And you're going to maybe learn to sing a little bit, maybe learn to dance a little bit, learn a little bit about the Mexican culture. You're going to love it. It's going to be fantastic. This Friday.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. So we'll see you guys on the next show next week. And Juanito, thank you for coming, brother.
Oh, my.
Man, it's been too long, man. I haven't seen you in a long time. So I appreciate you coming out, brother. Take care, man. Love you.
Love you too.
Yes. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you guys next week. See you on Friday at the Mariachi show. Bye-bye.
Ciao.